Hi, welcome back to Sunshine and Soul. I'm Marianne Sunshine. If you haven't watched the last episodes, go back and watch them while you're gazing. Like, subscribe, share. And today I've got two amazing guests for you. I know you've seen Black Love Season 1 and Black Love Season 2, which just premiered on YouTube a few weeks ago. Now we have the founders and producers of the show here in the studio. Sam and Ben, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
How are you? How are you guys doing?
I'm very well, thank you very much. Just overcome the flu a little bit.
Outside joke. Missed out the word hijack this time. How are you,
Yeah.
How are you, Ben?
I'm good. It's one of the rare occasions that I've been able to have a lie in. In fact, I think I don't even know, but I think I might have woken up at 11 o'clock. Oof.
Yeah,
marvelous.
That's
Never
not
happens.
late, man. That's not even late.
It's late in my
If
books.
I have a lie and I wake up at like 1 and then go back to sleep till 4.
Normally, I'm hijacked by the kids.
Oh, daddy time.
Oh yeah.
Very time.
How old are your children?
I have a 7-year-old little girl, and I have a 3-year-old. He's just turned 3.
Pandemic baby.
Yes.
Oh.
Beautiful little boy.
Wow.
Bouncing.
Wow. Pandemic babies, like, they're supernatural.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. They are. They're supernatural.
My little boy's got cerebral palsy.
Has he?
He has, quite profoundly. But he's a happy little soul, and like I say, he loves to bounce. I think he was actually born to be a Tigger because he loves to bounce.
Theatre. I can see theatre in his future.
Maybe.
Listen, I'll represent him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Don't holler at me. I'm representing him. I'm a theatre kid at age 7.
Okay. You heard it here first.
Yeah, you heard it here first. Listen, guys, Black Love. I've been watching it recently.
Thank you.
One of the great shows I've watched that has come out of the UK. It's a refreshing change to what we normally have. One of the shows that I've one of the shows that I've also been watching is Riches.
Okay.
And have you watched it? Did you like it?
This is the show on ITVX, right?
Yes,
I
yes.
thought the show's brilliant. Beautiful, beautifully well written, good acting, production values very, very high. And yeah, I was very disappointed when I heard season 2 was not coming.
Yeah, that's what I was going to get to. It's been cancelled.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Being showrunners yourself, what do you think about what that says for UK shows, especially the black cast?
In my humble opinion, it's definitely a brave move to actually, commission the show. I can't think of anything like that in the last 20, 30 years on ITV, to be honest.
No, there hasn't.
So I commend the team and the commissioners behind it. But from my point of view, it's a very positive show. Very, very, very positive show, showing an affluent black family, I believe Nigerian family.
Yeah.
And it was, very layered. The acting was serious, in my humble opinion. And also the cliffhanger, like the last episode, I was like, nah, I'm watching season 2. I'm watching season 2. So to get the to hear it's not coming back.
It looked, they were setting it up for
Of course.
season.
Well, that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
That's what you have to do when you get the chance to make a season of a show. So for it to not return is sad. And it's, for me, someone who's been around, involved in film and TV for over 20 years, it's always nice to see, how do I say it? It's always nice to see black people working. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when I look at, I'm a people person. I love people, full stop. But to see black writers, is it Abby? I forget her surname.
So yeah.
The main writer.
Feel.
So with some black female directors on some of the episodes. I feel like, it's a shame because this really could have been a launching pad for all of them in their careers.
That's what I think as well.
And of course, some of them, hopefully all of them, will go on to continue to have work and be employed, but they're clearly going to have big gaps of work now.
And I also feel like that was just a starting point for those types of shows because
1,000,000%.
one thing that we've been doing in the UK, we always talk about the type of shows we want to see, and we get the street life type of shows more often than not. And this was a complete departure from that.
Absolutely.
And everybody was kind of rejoicing that we got to see something different. And
Something different, refreshing.
It was a start for something. And I mean, somebody mentioned to me that it might have had something to do with the writer's strike. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but the writer's strike in America that went on for so long, was it 2 unions? Was it that had?
I'll be honest, I wouldn't. No,
I
wouldn't know.
Yeah, there was 2 unions that were striking, and I know that show was backed by Amazon. So I was wondering if that money aspect that gonna impact on other maybe shows that were in the pipeline that were coming out of the UK?
It's hard to tell because other shows, certainly American shows, they just stalled the release of their next season.
Yeah.
So if the intent was to have a season 2 of this particular show, it would happen. The intent was to cancel the show.
You think so?
Well, what other explanation is there, you know?
I mean, I'm sure it had a knock-on effect. You know, there's always a knock-on effect, especially because all of these things are based around, right, what are the numbers, what's the money, and when those things start getting affected, things start getting cancelled.
Something's got to go, yeah.
Yeah, and they're always going to prioritise their highest-grossing stuff to their largest audiences.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a real shame because there's nothing like it.
Chance.
Well, you can't say that it had a chance. Season 1 was the chance.
The highest grossing audiences. Like one of the shows that Amazon's commissioned for season 3, right? It's called Harlem. Now, I watched season 1 and season 2 of Harlem. Honestly, they didn't need a season 3. The show's about nothing. They didn't need a season 3. It's entertaining to watch. It's like, but it's empty content.
Remember, we're not really the audience. That's for an American audience, as you know, and there are bigger bigger audience as well. There are bigger audience as well.
But then you think about it, and there are lots of really good shows, really popular shows that have been shelved,
that have been cancelled. Yeah,
and we're talking about kind of mainstream stuff. We're aimed at a white audience, frankly, and it's quite incredible that some of these shows that are actually getting the numbers and actually making some money.
I mean, isn't Harlem
still getting cancelled in favour of producing new content?
Isn't the star of Harlem
Megan Good?
Megan Good, she's kind of a big star in America, so she's got a big following. You might not think and believe that, but we're based here.
She's a big star. She's been a star for many, many years. She was a child star as well, right? Yeah. The show is rubbish.
Jeez, okay.
That's just the bottom line. I'm saying it as somebody who watch it, and I'll probably put it on in the background.
But remember,
comes on,
what Ben just said it's about numbers. So the odds are everyone in New York's watching it, whereas how many people are really watching Riches in the UK? Really?
It was on ITVX.
ITVX, 10 p.m. Come on.
Well, there you go. I mean,
prime time?
I'll be honest, I didn't even know about
Amazon, it. So it was on Amazon as well. So you could stream it at any time, I guess. So I don't know.
I'll be honest, I didn't see any real promo that it was tied to Amazon.
I didn't see any promo.
There you go. So
that's a shame. But you guys are both experts in TV production. Your company's called Shadow Group.
Yes, indeed.
Yours is called, pick up your T-shirt, brother.
Fleeting Images.
Fleeting Images.
Tell us a little bit about how you guys both got into the film and production industry and some of your work.
Well, you go first.
So as our wonderful host just said, my name's Sam Addo, and I have a mixed media company called Shadow Group. Launched it in 2003 after I had spent 2 years working at the BBC as a promo director, essentially making internal commercials like this week on EastEnders, that kind of stuff, writing a script and using the clips to make the adverts. I really left the BBC because it wasn't the best of experiences as a black creative in the early noughties, if I'm being honest. But upon leaving and doing some research, it was really evident that any ideas you had, and it's the same today, any ideas you had, any inklings, any contributions, they were never going to be yours. And from a young age, I really wanted to be involved in ownership, IP, intellectual property and stuff, because that's where the money's at. Not that it's all about money. For me, and I'm sure for Ben, it's about making good content. But, I feel like 2003, I left BBC and I was, disheartened. I felt there's nothing for me in this industry, certainly not in the UK, being a young black guy, trying to make positive stuff. Everything was boys in the hood. Everything was kidulthood, you know what I mean? And I'm not knocking down none of that at all.
No, there's a place for it,
you know what I mean? So I kind of got my foot in the door doing weddings and christenings, and I hated it. The money was poor, it was terrible, there were dribs and drabsy. But then I got really lucky where a friend of a friend was dating Jay-Z's cousin, in case you not. And there was a club right next to Centre Point called Rouge. Oh. Do you remember Rouge?
Rouge.
And for whatever reason, it was like a Kanye West showcase. This is before, it was around the time of Through the Wire. So he was talking 2003, 2004. So my friend was dating a cousin of Jay-Z, and they needed a videographer.
Wait, was Keisha Cole there?
Keisha Cole was there.
I remember that.
Cassius Henry and all of these sorts of people was there.
Keisha Cole was there. I was there.
And clearly she wasn't a big name at that point.
Yeah,
you know.
I remember.
But so I filmed that event, and off the but off the back of that event, the content helped me get other jobs like Afro Hair and Beauty, backstage on the Mobos and all these sort of things. And that helped me build confidence and build a bit of a client base. And as the years went on, I started making music videos, and it led to a little show that I created called No Bling TV, which was was like the #1 youth show on Ben TV, dare I say it. But that show led me to Channel U. I got headhunted to be a production manager at Channel U.
Yeah. Infamous Channel U.
Infamous Channel U. And from there, you know, I really sort of honed my skills as a producer, director. And then I met this incredibly talented gentleman here, and we started writing and working on things. And the rest is history. Shadow Group is here.
Well, I want to
interject
because
oh boy,
you know, this lovely gentleman here. He says this little show called No.
I'm just going to stop you and look at your body language. And you're just leaning into each other. It's very cute.
We're brothers.
Totally. But he says it's a little show. But actually, I mean, if you think about it, it was the originator. It was there before any of those big shows, Channel U, aka Grime Daily. All of these kind of spawned off.
It was bigger
after No Bling. And, you know, you really had some of today's superstars on there.
Okay,
I mean, come on, you've got
name drop.
Yeah, you want me to name drop? Labyrinth, yeah? Labyrinth's first ever TV exposure at the age of 16. I've got that footage.
Oh,
and
cool.
he first sort of live performance and interview was on No Bling TV. Professor Green was on there. You know, so we're going that far back. But yeah, it's a long list of artists. But I'd like to think that particular brand was I was cutting my teeth and understanding how the industry works. It just helps a lot of artists on their way. And I guess I connected with some of these artists when I got headhunted to be at Channel U, you know what I mean? So,
okay.
Yeah, man. But that's a little bit about Shadow Group. Let's talk about Fleeting Images, baby.
Fleeting Images. Well, my pathway has been, bouncing off walls. I mean, background in psychology, then, and then youth work and, you know, photography. It started as a hobby, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, people are saying, "Oh, can I buy prints off you? You want to give me money for something that I love doing?" This, you know, for me that was mind blowing. And I freelanced for a while, but I actually ended up going into education, and I was a secondary school teacher for about 11, 12 years.
Regular
keeping
money.
What
my
year?
toes.
What year? What year group?
Oh, everything. I was one of the rare kind of teachers that even though in secondary I covered loads of different subjects. I taught like 17 different syllabuses across, you know, 11, 12 years. But all the time I was still doing different kind of media projects on the side, getting kids involved in loads of media projects as well, training up kids to, for example, my kids, my students, they went to Downing Street. They've interviewed Will.i.am. They've interviewed Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft.
Wow.
Some really major stuff. So always kept my toes in that world. And of course, got involved with our lovely Mr. Addo here. And I think it was just a meeting of souls, wasn't there? Yeah.
So how long have you guys been working together?
I'd say it's got to be 20 years.
20 years?
I reckon.
2003, 2004, around that time. Like
what was
I said,
the first project you worked on together?
it probably was No Bling TV. No Bling TV essentially, it was a no frills TV type vibe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So really basic studio, really basic recording. Everything was. I was a one man band. You know what I'm saying? And then there was some other camera guys coming around, but no one was serious. Then a chance meeting and just knowing some of the same people, they were like, you know, we should work together. And he helped take the production value right up, you know.
Okay, brilliant.
And
because I also did sound engineering, so
the sound was better.
Add it in there.
The visuals were better.
Yeah.
And it's been a great experience, really, working closely with another creative with a common goal. We took a gamble on ourselves in 2017 and made a feature film that we shot in 7 days and 7 nights. I advise no one to do that because you're guaranteed to have a stroke or something.
Wow.
But
I mean, it's
Tyler Perry style.
It's such an undertaking. Yeah. These were literally like 16-hour days.
Oh, it was long.
Get home, everything on charge, sleep for 4 hours.
If you're lucky.
Rinse and repeat.
Back out. And I'm really proud of us that we managed to have a team of, 20, 30 plus people, not including the cast. and we got it done. The film is called Cards on the Table. It's still out there on Amazon Prime right now.
Cool.
And it's a positive, uplifting film. You know, we stay away from the gang, bang, bang type of
balance. We do need
that. We need that balance.
We are the balance.
We are the
You're
balance.
the balance.
We are the balance, people.
Well, that gets us to your current project, which is Black Love UK.
All right.
And how did you get the idea for it? Is it that based off of the American show that they did?
1,000,000%. I'm a creative who I'll watch stuff for years and secretly be like, I hope something like that's gonna come over here.
Yeah.
And I had that experience with Do the Right Thing, Spike Lee film. I kept on seeing Spike just killing it, and I was like, any minute now someone's gonna do something, you know. And it never came. And so I remember off the back of, you don't know this story, off the back of Do the Right Thing, I went and made, not that Do the Right Thing's a hood movie, but you know, it's black cast, black crew, Boys in the Hood, all these sort of things thoroughly inspired me. And in the early noughties, I don't really think lots of people were doing that kind of films. And so I made a short film called Blood, Sweat and Tears about some guy trying to get out of the hood and all this stuff, you know, whatever it is. But that was the beginning of my journey. But yeah, man, it's just been a cool experience, you know, certainly working with him and just collaborating. But with regards to Black Love UK, I had actually seen a show called Ready for Love.
I love that show.
I love that show.
I love that show.
It's such a good.
It's ratchet as hell. But I love it.
The first couple of seasons. I think it's gone. I think it's gone downhill a little bit.
The casting's been a bit janky,
more complicated.
recently.
Much more complicated show to make.
Yeah,
so I saw the show,
I love it,
and I thought I could produce that tomorrow with the contacts we've got, blah de blah. But when you're doing it independently, it's a lot more money.
I could imagine.
You have to mic up 20 people, locations. I thought, no. I approached some people. Everyone was afraid to collab with me on it. So I left it for about a year or two. But then these times I've fallen in love with the simplicity of the original Black Love, which is the American show.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know this show, Google Black Love, the original show in America. Right? Sorry?
It's on OWN.
It wasn't OWN. It's since finished, and they've moved on to do other things off of the brand.
Okay.
So Black Love UK, Black Love, the original show, essentially it just celebrates black couples and shows black couples in a positive light, so on and so forth. And I'd be watching the show thinking, man, it's not as complex as Ready for Love. I could absolutely make this show.
It's very simple.
And I love to collaborate with people. So, you know, Ben's always been in my corner. We've always worked together on things. He's great at making things look and sound great. That's what he does. I come up with the ideas. If anything, I'm the what's that Jimmy Iovine thing again?
Innovator and elevator or something.
Elevator and executor. Maybe he elevates and not execute, or something like that. I don't know.
We had it.
Yeah, you know, we know what we mean. But
back when we were young.
So I approached maybe 3 other producers. It was imperative to me. I love working with female directors and producers as well. So we found a few. And whittled it down to one particular individual. She helped us launch season 1. She's all the best to her. She's since moved on to Pastors New. So we've done season 1. That's really
How long did that take?
Proof of concept. From idea to getting it done.
To get the casting.
We don't play no games, man. If we decide we're going to do something, we just get it done. There's no excuses. So timeline-wise, 3 to 4 months we were shooting.
Not bad.
So finding the couples.
How did you find the couples?
I was pretty much charged with that. With all the work I'm involved in, I always look to my nearest and dearest first before I go further afield. So it's family and friends, and then you ask friends and you go further afield, you know?
Yeah, whatever.
And I would say for every 10 couples we spoke to, maybe 1 couple would agree. Okay. So it was a lengthy process.
And how many couples did you have?
Season 1, we had 5 couples.
5, yeah.
Season 2.
Upscaled quite a lot.
Upscaled a lot.
Yeah.
Season 1 was, as we say, proof of concept, right?
Yeah.
You know,
pilot, proof of concept.
Showing ourselves what we can do and giving examples to potential sponsors or investors, as it were. Season 2, we stepped it right up. We got 10 couples, quite varied age brackets. We've got couples in their late 20s and couples in their late 40s and 50s.
We've done our best to try and have some diversity within the cast.
Yeah, age-wise, we've even got 1 couple. Season 1 had like a black guy with a Filipino lady.
Yeah.
This season we've got a black guy with an Asian lady. Yeah. And we're being asked to mix it up even more, aren't we? Like same sex and other
it's not
things.
through lack of trying, though. You know, we've definitely gone out there with a very, very open mind, because the 2 of us, we are with anything to do with inclusivity, disability, inclusion.
Interesting, yeah.
It's close to our heart.
Yeah,
As Ben mentioned, his little one has CP. I have glaucoma, and I'm extremely short-sighted as well. So disability is something that's very close to our heart. But the show exists to counter-attack the negativity and the just the negative images and portrayals and things that are said about black couples, or even down to, black men cheat, black men don't look after their kids. This is an opportunity to actually witness couples loving on each other, going through things on the screen, and that's something that we both
passionate about.
Very passionate.
Did you have any of you have a favourite couple?
Oh God, do you know what? There's so many, and
see, it's difficult for me because I'm more 9 times out of 10 I'm interfacing with the couples.
Yeah.
And so I'm doing my best to make them, before they're ever on the screen, to know that, look, we're going to look after you. We're not going to make you look bad. And so I've already bonded with them on one level. Yeah. Then when you're on set, you've really got to make them feel comfortable and safe. So I love them all. They're all like extended families to us. So I can never choose.
You could never.
I'm saying we leave that to the fans. Like in our comments on our DMs and on YouTube, people are saying, "Oh my God, this is my favorite," and it's lovely for us to see that. But we just love that they've given us their time and they're sharing with us.
But then you also love. It's just like with your friends and your family. Yeah. You love different things about different people, don't you? And so some of them are just absolutely hilarious. There was one particular couple that at first, seemed really, really serious. And then, oh my God, they were just absolutely cracking us up.
Yeah.
Cracking us up. Yeah. To the point at which we're really trying to suppress our laughter. And they brought their kids on set as well. And their kids were stifling their laughter as well.
They brought their kids on to watch them talk about their relationship. That's beautiful.
Yeah. But then this is, this show, although it touches on a real range of subjects within any relationships, including sex, of course, but slightly euphemized in most circumstances. Really, this is something that can engage a very, very wide audience.
Absolutely.
And there's no crudeness about it, So
I was going to ask that. Is there anything that you had to take out that just couldn't be shown? Did some of the couples just expose too much?
See, I mean, there are two particular things, right? I can tell you, but none of them are toxic per se.
Yeah.
One was, we have one question we ask in every season, and it's usually towards the end of the season, and it's something along the lines of, if I'm dead and gone, what do you want me to know? Or, what's the harder thing you've had to overcome? And I remember asking, it may have been, it could have been any of the couples, right? But we asked, is there anything really harsh that's happened or hard that you've had to overcome? And essentially that same week, one of the couples had lost their mother.
Okay.
So of course, now this lady is broken down in tears. Of course, we stop recording and do the right thing. Get tissue, make sure she's fine, and give her the option to overcome the moment and continue, or just cut that. Of course, we cut that. Yeah. And likewise, we made a couple so comfortable. We may have touched on this when you kindly spoke to us on live. We spoke to one couple. They were so comfortable. Our sister Charlotte. She was so comfortable that she shared. See, you can't even say it when I think about it. I don't know if I can say it.
She shared something about her family that was very private, very, very sensitive. And it was after that she said, "Oh God, I didn't even realise I was." We'd actually made the show. The show was on YouTube, and she said, "Yo,
cut that out.
Episode 4. I didn't realize I didn't tell you guys to remove it.
Oh wow!
Please remove it." So we've gone back and removed it.
Oh, you went back and removed it after.
Everyone works different, but we are people. We are people. We love people. We don't want to upset or offend anybody.
Yeah, I think a big part of this is you've got to establish relationship. All of these things 100%. Are about relationships, and relationships are built on trust and authenticity.
Of course.
And so for us, being authentic, being transparent is more important than anything. We had in post-production, we had another issue where there was, in one of the locations we used, there was a
very personal
hand-drawn picture of one of the people's children, just a tiny bit in the corner of the frame, but it was enough that the proprietor was a bit unhappy about it, uncomfortable about it, and they were like, "Oh my god, I should have removed it. I didn't realise." But could you? Now for me, because I was doing,
it caused a nightmare for us.
oh my
I'm about
god, well,
to
I
say,
was,
how do you
I was
cut-
doing the
before the
grading.
launch.
How
Yeah.
do you cut that out?
Well,
No. First, he's a genius. But
Sam does the editing. I do the finish it. So offline editing, online editing,
okay, he'll clean it up.
grade it, sound mastering, all that kind of stuff. But you know, there are ways to get around it.
That was a nightmare, you know.
I mean, it took me about 10 hours.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So you can imagine.
But, and we really justifiably could have just said,
Do
"I'm
you-
sorry."
You don't send them any.
It's very difficult because
You don't send them anything to watch beforehand.
it's difficult. You have to imagine this. In this occasion, there's 10 couples.
Yeah.
Various things going on in 10 episodes. If
Yeah.
one couple goes, you see episode 4
Take
minutes
that out,
in,
yeah.
it becomes a free for all and everyone can do it. We can't do that.
Yeah, that's
But
problematic.
2 days before we launch season 2, we've got this lady going, "Oh, I should have removed that thing in the background. Can you get rid of it?" What?
Great. I was about to ask,
I've had to ring him and tell
him.
him, and I'm like, damn.
No,
That's
but
crazy.
But I mean,
fortunately, we
as,
you know,
as inconvenient as it was, and even though we really could have just said, "I'm very sorry,
Yeah.
it's just not feasible," it had to be done
Because it was
because
a kid as well. Yeah.
I mean,
it's a child, and we're trying
it's
to.
a child.
It's who we are as well. We
But
just want to keep people.
It's
happy
more
to
about
find-
it's more about that. It's more
Relationships.
about the relationship building, that sense of authenticity, and that's got to come through with what we do.
The irony of it is, though, is had we sold that particular season, it's a channel, we may not have been able to do that. They'd be in control at that point. Another reason why we like to try and control and own our content.
Was that your plan then to sell the show, to distribute it?
Well,
To license.
to license.
To license, yeah.
Certainly,
Yeah.
certainly. The rights and stuff we have to hold on to because we need that creative control because it can't become contrived.
Yeah.
You know, there are lots of shows out there that do heavily direct what
Yeah, but
they want people
Okay.
to do.
There's a tone that we're going for, and we hope people see that tone. Talking of licensing, though, we have had a little bit of success with season 1. Ben, would you like to fill in?
Oh.
Exclusive.
Well, we are proud to say that season 1 has been picked up for worldwide, so international distribution, including stateside, 50 states in
That's
America.
amazing,
Yeah,
guys.
we are very thankful.
Yeah, I mean,
Very thankful.
it really gives us a lot of hope, doesn't it? That
It
there's
gives us a bit of leverage as well.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
It just means the kind of establishments that we've been trying to speak to for years may well now open their doors a bit. You know, nothing's guaranteed, but because of that happening, it's given put batteries on our backs to make sure that we've improved massively on season 2 with the view to doing it again, but on a bigger scale.
I was about to say, so we're going to get a season 3 then?
I think we're definitely doing season 3.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And hopefully, you know, send us some good vibes. Hopefully, there'll be
I'll
a
find
big
a boyfriend
sponsor.
and come on.
Make sure, maybe you said it here. We hope there's witnesses.
I'll
That's
find a
an
boyfriend.
exclusive.
Might
All
get
right.
Kevin.
Do it. Okay.
is an exclusive.
Okay, be available, Kev. Be available, bro.
I'll find a boyfriend and come on season 3.
Please.
But yeah, so
Congratulations with that deal. That's going to really propel everything far and wide, right?
Well,
I mean,
we
we've
hope.
been that's pretty amazing, and there's some stuff that we can't yet talk about, but to skirt around it somewhat,
There are some big platforms that are
some extremely
Interesting.
big
I
That
haven't
would be
content.
amazing.
and we've also been fortunate enough to be supported in association with Barclays
Barclays
as well.
Bank kindly stepped up and sponsored our
Not sponsored.
Oh,
Supported.
they supported us. Yes.
There
they
is no-
supported
Difference.
us.
There's a big difference
Yes.
in those two words.
They supported us with our premiere screening of season 1,
Season
2.
And season 2.
Yeah.
Yes.
And how was the screening? Was that good? Was it well received? I couldn't attend, unfortunately. I had the thing that hijacks you.
Oh, it's
Going
That's
around.
me for a bit, yeah.
Going around.
Yeah.
It was amazing, wasn't it?
amazing. It was amazing.
I mean, the
day to
room-
remember.
The room was packed out.
Full of love in the room, man. There's a lot of love in the room for us and a lot of support.
And it's nice, you know, as creators, as people that are putting this out. Obviously, with season 1, we were very fortunate. We also got, you know, a respectable viewing online as well. But you don't really get to see people's reactions. You see comments occasionally, but to see
in
a
a
room
room
packed full of
And they're
people,
roaring with laughter.
Oh,
or they touch, or
beautiful.
you know, you can see they're leaning in at really sensitive moments.
I was kind of surprised at how many giggles it got through.
You know what? Like as Ben was saying, I tend to edit these things or direct these things, and I've probably watched all the episodes more than anyone on earth because I've sat there at 5 a.m. editing each episode and changing the storyline. And I'd sat there so many times thinking, why am I doing this? Why are we even doing this? Because you think all the world wants is mad toxicity.
No,
And
definitely
and
not.
because the reason I've had those feelings were I
'Cause that's
couldn't
what you
see,
see,
I couldn't see much of what we were making. But that's the power in what we're doing.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So to have a great turnout, great support, there's a lot of love in the room for us at the screening, and the fact that they did embrace the show and laugh in the right places and the odd little tear here and there, let us know that we executed right.
Yeah.
You know, and we made the couples proud of.
And we, we had families. I had my kids in the audience. I had my 7-year-old, your son, and other young people.
And they liked it.
I mean, we've always kind of thought, right, it's kind of a
older,
niche product.
Yeah, an older audience.
In that, we're looking at maybe 35 to
plus
late to 50s as our target demographic, as our primary target demographic. But actually, it was surprising.
It was received well.
My 7-year-old daughter loved it.
My son is
She's gonna love
14.
it. I think one of the best parts that one of the episodes, I can't remember which one it was because I binge watched, but is when they giving advice to younger couples.
Yes.
That episode, and that some of the advice can go to. It was for younger couples, but it can go to anyone. It can go to anyone because these are people that are in long-term relationships.
The questions and the style we craft the questions, they're very universal.
Yeah.
We hope they're universal, and that's the feedback we're getting. So,
Guys, listen. I'm speechless. I love the show so much, and thank you guys for making it. And congratulations with your success. And I'm gonna find a man so I can come on season 3.
Do it.
Make sure.
Before we finish, I have Sunshine and Soul questions. Sunshine is what is your happiness, and your soul is what gives you peace. So who wants to go first?
My sunshine is my incredibly amazing, fun, silly, incredible son, Israel. He's 15 in a minute.
Shout out to Israel.
Among other things, family, friends, obviously. And what brings me peace is occasionally self-imposed solitude, actually.
I hear that.
I like to listen to a little classical. I like to write a little song. I like to watch a little sound,
John Legend.
Yes, please. yes. Instrumentations as well. But, that's a little insight to me. Thank you.
And I think, as I've touched on, there's a thread that links our souls, because my answer is similar. My family, my friends is the source of my happiness, and my little darling daughter and son. As naughty as she can be sometimes, she's wonderful, and so's the little boy. They're just wonderful. So that's definitely my source of happiness. And gosh,
your peace,
my peace. I think being quite an ambivert.
Oh wow.
I think. I definitely get energized by being around people, but then, like with Sam, I need that solitude occasionally, just to kind of refocus, rebalance, and sleep.
And sleep till 11 a.m.
That's
It's not even late. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. It's been a pleasure having you back on the show. Having you on the show. We did a live. That's why I said back. Yeah.
Well, do you know what? Can I say one last thing? I mean, hopefully the people that are out there watching the show, hopefully it vibes with them, and hopefully they see the positivity, the wholesomeness of it. Hopefully it enriches them in some way. That's really what we want. But with us being still an independent, real 2-man crew, I mean, we've definitely got allies that help us with these who are crucial to making it. But with it just being the two of us, really the backbone, we need as much support as we can. And so every like, every subscription, every comment, every share, every bookmark,
appreciated,
actually makes a world of difference to us, because it really helps those magical algorithms put this content in front. It helps. It helps it put the content in front of other people who hopefully it will enrich as well. So for those people that do support and show their support in those ways, it makes all the world a difference.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Sam.
Thank you.
I'm gonna sprinkle some sugar on that if I may. probably the biggest quote I always say is 1,000 thank yous. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. You are the first person to reach out to us, to invite us onto your sofas or your seats, how we say. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on the Instagram Live as well. So
thank you for joining me. And
all of the
thank you
best.
for making an amazing, amazing show, guys.
Oh, thank you.
Go and watch Black Love season 1 if you haven't watched it, and season 2
out now.
Like, share, subscribe. Out now.
Black Love
and
UK.
Black Love UK.
See you guys. Like, share, and subscribe for me too.
Yes, follow her. Follow her.
Thank you, and see you guys next time. Bye.
Peace.